you for watching Truth and Justice with Vivian King. Tonight, we're going to talk to one of my old clients that wants to tell you about the difference between federal court and state court. And then, of course, I have my regular sidekick, Mr. Danny Sneed. Say hi, Danny.
My smile is my style.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So tonight, remember the purpose of my show is to educate about the criminal justice system. I'm not sure, tonight we're in a new studio tonight that's under construction, so I'm not quite sure if you get to call in tonight, but watch us and learn. No calling in tonight. Okay, watch and learn. All right, so introduce yourself, Mr. Billy Crawford.
I'm Billy Crawford, 44 years old from Houston, Texas. I've been, dealing with Miss King since over 25 years, 20 some odd years.
Since he was a young man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Since it was over 20 years.
Yeah.
For sure. I've been a lawyer 32 years, and I think was it the late 90s, like 98 or something like that?
99.
Yeah.
I saw Miss King in court. I was like, hey, I already knew.
Is that how you met me? How'd you meet me?
Well, I met you because I had a court date. I went in there. I ain't had no lawyer. Well, I think I had used the other guy once or twice, but I went to court. I didn't have a lawyer, and I saw you. You came in court, and you just knew everybody. Like you kind of like worked the room. Like you knew everybody, and then you had a talk with the judge, and y'all went to the back. Then y'all came back, and I was like, "Excuse me, are you a lawyer?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I need your card.
Okay.
I need your card right now."
All right. I don't even know. I don't even remember. I just know it was a long time ago.
What kind of case was it?
Man,
how many?
Ain't no telling.
Oh, you don't remember what the case it was?
Let me tell you why Billy doesn't remember, because I just looked today. Billy has had 14 cases in state court. He don't want me to say it, but I'm just going to go to say it because Billy has said your name. They can look you up. Billy has had 14 cases, and I've represented him on a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
them. The only one she didn't represent me because I couldn't find her.
Right. And you just found me. That's how we got together again. He found me to refer me to someone else.
Yeah, she put her on retainer.
Yeah. He actually found me through the Truth and Justice show that's on YouTube. He sent me a note on YouTube.
A comment.
He commented, "Miss King, I need you. I need you." And I was like, of course I remember Billy. But I didn't realize that Billy had gone to federal prison. So, Billy, I know you had to do some time in state court. So tell me about that experience. I want to talk about state court, then I'm going to switch over to federal court. But tell me about your experience. I know you had to do state jail time at one point.
Yeah, I did state jail time about twice. What you mean as far as like the court system?
Yes.
Well, the state court system is kind of like it's kind of ways that you can find loopholes in the state court system, I think.
But you went to prison, so what do you
I did go to prison, though.
You went to prison, so there's no loophole going to prison.
It's no loopholes. But what I'm saying with state court is kind of like, in federal court, I'll say that they have more evidence, more rock solid evidence on you to where like.
Okay, well, I don't want you to talk about the courtroom.
It's really kind of like a compromise.
I don't want you to
the experience in prison. So the experience versus state prison.
Court. Yeah, like if you go to state prison,
mm-hmm.
Where'd you go? What facility did you go to?
State jail I went to Pound Lynchner, and then I went to another state jail that was up in Marshall, Texas. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay, so when you went to Pam Lynchner, how were you treated? Because sometimes people say, when they go to prison, all they do is, they got air conditioning, they got this, they got that. But I was told by Danny and many others that there's no air conditioning in your cell. It's hot,
Right.
Whatever. So tell me about that.
Whatever the temperature it is outside, it's gonna be magnified inside of there, because it's like a 10 building. In the state jail, it's like half state jail, half TDC side, right? So it's dormitories. So it's 58 men in there, and it's just a little 10 building. So in the summer, if it's 90 degrees outside, it's 110 inside. If it's winter time, it's cold in there. Like It ain't no, and then you got like wide open showers. You get in the shower, anybody can just see you. You know what I mean?
No privacy.
The bathroom is no privacy at all. Y'all sleeping in like these little cubicles. It's like a community living type a structure,
In state
almost
jail?
kind of like a homeless shelter or something.
Like a homeless shelter. That's the way it was in
Yeah.
state jail? Mm-hmm. And that's the Pam Lynchner?
Yeah, that was
that-
Pam Lynchner and the other one.
The other one. So they built the same.
Yeah, they was built exactly the same.
Pam Lynch's is right around the corner from us. It's
So
local.
state jail is not the same as TDC. They don't. It's not.
Absolutely not.
I didn't know that.
Nah.
I never knew that. I thought the facilities inside were the exact same because it's prison.
Well, like
It's
Pam
prison.
Lynchner and that jail, it was like on one side it was state jail and the other side it was TDC. So it's kind of like what they call like a transfer facility for TDC or whatever.
Like they put 2 warehouses in a field and put a basketball court out here in one building for you to eat in and the sidewalk, and it's fenced in.
Yeah.
And when you're in that living area, everybody looking at each other like this.
Yeah, everybody mixed
When you're
in.
on the bunk, you can see his bunk. Ain't no
Right.
curtains, ain't no doors.
Nah,
It's
nowhere.
open bay.
Everything.
So everybody can see everybody.
everybody can see
At all
everything
times.
at all times.
That's state jail.
State jail.
Mm-hmm.
But TDC, when you go next door to TDC, it's different.
You're in cells.
It's in cells
Yeah.
that,
And
they're playing
and it's
they close up.
tiers.
It's tiers,
Right.
just like you see on TV.
Right.
All the different levels, but it's clanging
Right.
cells. But in state, I didn't know. I never knew. I've been doing this 32 years, and I never knew
Really?
that state jail was not the same. Was not housed the same. Well, I never had to visit anybody in state jail because you only
Right.
go.
I guess we
You
know
go
some.
from
Oh, you
6
only got a
months.
couple months,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're not gonna go long. You only go from
Then you
6 months to
finish.
2 years. So I've never really had to go because people don't really appeal state jails. I had to go to a lot of
yeah, ain't no
appellate-
reason to appeal it. Like,
Right.
The
ain't finna
max
beat
is 2 years.
Right. The max is 2 years.
and don't nobody get that.
Yeah.
I had 18 months. One time that you had got me, one time, but that was because I had hired you late, and then I had the federal case with it.
Well, I saw that.
Yeah, I
That's
got
what I
18
saw
months.
on one case. I told you had 14 cases, but one was not guilty. So you did win one case.
No, I won a couple cases.
Okay, well I didn't look them all. I'm sorry, but you
Well,
lost.
one was a not guilty. The other ones, I'm
I've
saying
gotten
I
some
won them,
dismissed.
but
yeah.
they were dismissed.
Yeah, we got
right,
some.
right, right.
Yeah, we got some dismissed.
But I had
Advocate
one
for
that
your wins.
that I went
Advocate
to
for your
trial
wins.
and won with.
Yeah, you got one. Yep. You got one, and then I didn't look up everything, so some of them got dismissed. But I wanted to also talk about. So you got small. They were all small little cases, small little cases. But one time you have an escape. Let's talk about the escape.
Come on, Houdini.
The escape. And it's not funny. It's just he's an old friend. I've known him a long time. He's grown up. He's a mature man that works every day and takes care of his kids. So I can talk like that now because he was young. And you see how youthful he
Yeah,
looks at 44.
yeah.
So just imagine when I was representing him 25 years ago, he looked like a baby.
Yeah.
He looked like a baby.
Well, this kind of tie in with the federal thing because that wound up
I know
getting
that
me
got you the federal.
prison.
That got you the federal
So
time.
that'll kind
But
of get
yeah,
in
that
the
got
side
you
of
the
me
federal
talking
time.
about
But
the
talk
difference
about the
between
escape.
state and the federal.
Because the escape got dismissed, but that was all a part of you going in with the 18 months.
Well,
state
you got
jail.
that. You see,
I
you
got-
don't even remember. Miss King done represented me on so many cases.
I have
did
represented,
so much. She
and let
don't
me tell
remember.
you, and I've represented over 1,000 people.
See, she don't even remember. But well,
Tell me the story so I can remember.
okay, this is how I caught the case. All right. I'm going to the store one night. Okay, at this time I'm in the street. I'm kind of wild. All right. It's a lot of things going around me at the time. A lot of people getting murdered and this and other that was doing the same thing that I was doing. So I'm kind of walking around like John Wayne at this point. I'm walking around bulletproof vest on. I got 2 guns, all this here, right? So me and my girl had a little argument, so I decided to go to the store, right, to get a soda, because I had me some little syrup. I wanted to give me a little soda. So when I pull up to the store, I see the policeman, but he already got somebody else pulled over. So I figure I'm going to just run in and run out.
With the guns on you.
Yeah, of course. I can't go nowhere. I couldn't go nowhere with, okay. But so when I go in the store and I come out, he's standing there waiting on me.
Wow.
Now, see, I was so bold and so dumb back then. I got on a thermal shirt with a bulletproof vest on under it. So you could see it,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So when I come out the store, he stopped me. He asked me for my ID. So I'm like, what you need to see that for? He said, well, look like you're a curfew violator. I'm like,
Because he looks
"Man,
so young.
I'm 25 years old, man.
Right.
So I show him the ID. He give it back to me. And so then he make it a point to put his hand on my back. And
He
like,
felt it. He could confirm he
yeah,
got
he
some
said,
bulletproof vest.
you got body armor on. I got to search you. So I knew I had the gun on me. So I just told him, hey, man, I got the gun on me. Because I don't want him to.
Shoot you.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got the gun on me or whatever. So, all right. So he get that. He go in the car. He find, I was honest with him. I told him, man, I got some handlebars, some Xanax in the car, I got some weed, I got some syrup in the car.
Oh, you the real John Wayne.
So he went right in there and got it, right? All right, so when he did that, he put the handcuffs on me, and I got back in the car, but he put them on kind of loosely.
Wow.
So as I'm in the back of the car, I done got my hands out of them, right? So I got the bulletproof vest on, and you know, so I make the claim like, hey man, it's hot back here, you know. I got the vest on, it's hot. So he let the window down. But when he let the window down, I stuck my arm out and opened the door and jumped out.
You out of there.
He's wild. He got a bulletproof vest on. You heard him say that, I got a bulletproof vest on. So if he shoot at me, I got my bulletproof vest on.
Man, see, with John Wayne, he wasn't playing.
So as I'm running, it's already record trucks on the scene. So they start bumping the horn. So
He trying to escape.
yeah, so as I'm running down the sidewalk, and it's against a fence. So the record trucks, they trying to apprehend me now. They trying to run over me. So.
And this is his 9th case in Harris County at this time. I'm counting them.
That was the 9th.
That was the 9th one, dude.
So at that
9th.
time,
This is 2000.
the officer caught up with me. They put a little work in on me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
They
Get
put a
these
little work
hands,
in.
go shoot 'em
Yeah.
hands.
They beat you up a little bit, huh?
Yeah. It wasn't too bad though, but they did put hands on me a little bit. Him and the record driver. I was mad at that record driver.
Beating you up too?
Yeah, man, I was looking for him. I was looking for him. But I
not
got
the
out.
record
But
driver.
anyway, yeah, he put a couple little feet on me too.
Oh my goodness.
But so that's how they got me with the escape. But when I went to jail, I really didn't have a federal case at that time. I was playing slow with hiring Miss King because I had a lot going on in the world, and I was like, man, like I had to see how I was gonna move my money around. So before I can hire Miss King, I get a call. I'm in the cell. I spent like 13 months in Harris County on that case. So within the first month, they called my name and they was like, Crawford, we need you to go to the gang task force unit. I'm like, well, I ain't never been in a gang in my life. So I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? So I go down there. They put me in a little room, and it's an old black man, an old white man in there. I mean, an old black man and a young black man. Excuse me, to the white man out there. I ain't mean to say that. But it's an old black man, young black man, and they talking to me. They asking me about my case. They got the police report and everything, right? And they saying that they
You don't have a lawyer? Did you have a lawyer at that time?
No.
Okay.
Like I had just got arrested,
Okay.
kind of like. So they telling me we doing the internal affair investigation with Harris County because we see that they arrested you with no probable cause. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of right. So they like, just tell us what happened. So I'm thinking, man, I already got the police report. So I just tell him what's up in the police report. They used that against me. Like that's how they built their case on me. I ain't know that until Miss King told me that.
Oh,
That was after the fact.
Oh, wow.
After I hired her.
But
then
he
she
was in
like,
custody, and they really shouldn't have talked to him without a lawyer. Did they
Right.
Mirandize you first?
No.
They were supposed to Mirandize him. They're supposed to record it, but they broke the law. So the law is if you're in custody, if you're interviewed in custody, the police have to give you the Miranda warnings. You know, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you have a right to a lawyer. Anything you say will be used against you in a court of law. And in Texas, they not only have to remember if you're in custody, you have no way of getting away. They got to Mirandize you, and they have to tape record the conversation. Otherwise, it's not admissible in court. They have to. So if like he tells me, hey, they talked to me and they got all this information from that actually has to be thrown out. The part that they got from him, if he can prove it, has to be thrown out.
If you don't plead.
They tricked him.
Yeah, they tricked me. They really got me because they made me think that they was there to help me.
Because the police can lie to you.
And I ain't really tell them nothing. All I told them was what I figured they already know. Because they got the police report.
But by omission.
You know what I'm saying?
But you don't know what's in the police
So
report.
I'm just
You didn't
telling
read
them,
it.
I just told them what I just told y'all. What happened when I got
And
arrested.
when you told me what
I
I
went
did.
to the store, same
Right.
thing.
Right.
But I shouldn't have said nothing. After I talked to Miss King, she was like, nah, you shouldn't even never said nothing. But I ain't know though.
You've been hiring me enough to know you weren't supposed to talk to the police.
But I'm just saying, you know,
But they set him up with the okie doke.
Because people believe that the police are telling the truth. They don't
We do.
realize that the police can lie to you.
We do.
To get you to talk. Well, what they did illegal was they were supposed to Mirandize him first.
But I'm feeling like, well, I ain't down here doing no snitching. I ain't telling on nobody.
You just talking about
Telling
yourself.
on
I'm just telling them what they already know. What happened when I got arrested. But what Ms. King also taught me was that the feds can't use state's evidence. So even though that they had the state's evidence,
Well, they can use it, but they're not going to get it. They're not going to use things that are obtained illegally.
by me saying it though,
Right.
that created their evidence.
That created. Oh, so those were the federal officers that were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
And I ain't had no
Yeah,
idea
the
that they
Fed-
was
yeah,
even
see,
federal officers.
the Fed. Oh,
Like
see,
I said, it was an old black man and a young black man, and they was sitting there talking
They
about
be your people,
that
don't
they
they?
was investigating the Harris County Police Department. That's what they told me.
that's 18 years
So
ago.
I didn't even know that he was even know
And let me tell you what's
that
even,
they were even federal agents.
and let
at
me tell
all.
you what's even colder.
So I went back to court.
Let me
and
tell
they
you what's
said,
colder. Federal agents, federal and state, they can both lie to you to get you to talk. But if you lie to a federal agent, that's a crime. If you lie to a federal agent that's interviewing, that's a crime.
But he got to identify himself as a federal
I'm
agent, though,
just telling
don't
you,
he?
it's best to exercise your right to remain silent. Because I'm just telling you, they didn't identify themselves as federal agents. He didn't know that.
I done been interviewed by the Texas Rangers before, and they didn't identify themselves. The only reason why I peeped it because I looked at his waist and I'm like,
He had
what's
that badge on the
He
side.
had, but he had it flipped around. I said, "What's that on your waist? That's a badge." And then once I recognized it, he had to go on and show it to me. Wow, man.
It's best to
But
just
he
tell
was
them-
trying to talk to me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a trick. It's best to say, I'd love to talk to you, officer, but I need to talk to you with a lawyer. I need to get counsel. I mean, just say it nicely. I mean, I wouldn't be sassy with them or inappropriate. But this is crazy. You can lie to a state officer, a police, HPD. You can lie to them. It'll be used against you. It's not good, but it's not illegal. Do you follow what I'm saying? It just shows your credibility is bad, and that'll be used against you. But you can't lie to a federal officer. So the moral to the story is, do not talk to a lawyer to a police officer without a lawyer. Now, I've had some of my clients, once they hired me, we've gone in and talked to the police in sexual assault cases. I've actually typed up their statement for them, and gave it to the police because the guy told me the story, and I knew if he told his side of the story and I believed him, he wasn't in trouble. You see what I'm saying? It was not, what he told me was defensible.
It wasn't incriminating.
Yeah, right, it wasn't incriminating. I've done that. And then there have been other times when the people won't get their story straight, and I call the police and say, no, he's not going to talk to you.
Because he gonna
He ain't getting it
sabotage
straight.
himself.
He ain't getting it straight with me.
And then you don't want to lose your credibility. at the
Right.
same
No,
time.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
Right.
gonna get involved with no lying. We're just not gonna talk about it.
Right.
We're just not gonna talk about it. So it's coming back to me a little bit now because that was a long time ago. But I do remember that they made you talk. Yeah, the federal guys are creating their own police report.
Then when I came back to court, they was like, we're gonna have to reset you because the feds picked your case up. I'm like, what?
I think that vest
I'm
probably
dumbfounded, like-
vest probably had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, because them dudes, they was asking me like, what organization are you a part of? And this and that. I'm like, what? They were like, where you get the bulletproof vest from, and how did you learn how to get out of handcuffs?
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're up the ante.
I'm like, dude, I bought the bulletproof vest from the store.
And you thin, so
From
you
the
just
gun
able to get out
store.
of it.
Like
You
they
just
was
able to
selling
get out
them. Like you go in the gun store, they was on the wall in every gun store. I bought it from there, and y'all ain't put the handcuffs on tight. That's how I got out of it. Like it wasn't no magic trick.
You too gangster.
Like,
for
what
them,
y'all
man.
thinking? This ain't a magic trick.
You too gangster, man.
But yeah, they really tricked me like that though.
So then there's the federal deal. So we get to court, the federal case, they pick him up with the federal case. But one of the things I read about your federal case is, so I'm just gonna read his indictment. Most federal indictments, because I used to do a lot of Medicare fraud, and fraud cases, they might be 20 pages, 30 pages, 100 pages. It's some really long federal indictments. This is the shortest one I've ever read.
Oh, yeah.
2 pages.
Because I really wasn't even supposed to have no federal case.
Right. So this is federal, and I'm gonna give y'all a little quiz after I read this, okay? So he got indicted in federal court May 30th, 2007. So the grand jury charges that on or about February 13th, 2007, in Houston Division of the Southern District of Texas, the defendant, Billy DeMont Crawford, having been convicted of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year, did knowingly possess in and affecting commerce a firearm, one Smith & Wesson model 66-6 a .357 caliber revolver pistol, I like those ones, which had been transported in interstate commerce in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 922G1. So that's as far as I'm gonna go. But basically, for that, so it's a crime not only to have the pistol, but to have the ammunition.
And then, this is what I never understood
Ammunition
about.
is
I don't
a
mean to
crime.
cut you off,
No,
Ms.
no,
King.
yes.
I gotta say, I don't understand this about federal law. They talking about being transported over state lines. I ain't take the gun nowhere.
Okay, that was the quiz. That was what I was gonna ask
So
you.
how in the world?
Danny, know-it-all, Danny, you've been doing this with me for years. So tell me, why do you think, because you know to be federal, it has to, one of the main reasons, there are other reasons, but it has to cross interstate lines. So why do you think that it's a federal crime?
Well, not based on what he just said.
I
Didn't
ain't
cross
took
the
it
state
nowhere.
line.
I got the gun in Houston. I
No,
got arrested with it in
so
Houston.
remember this paragraph.
I ain't taking nowhere.
So
how they
one
able
element
to-
is it has to be, whatever your sentence was before has to be over a year. So that's so in Texas, Louisiana, Vermont, because federal was a felony in Texas might not be a felony in another. So what matters is over a year. In Texas, anything over a year that you're sentenced to is a felony. Okay, so that's the first prong.
Over a year of what?
Because you'd gotten that burglary of a building.
Over a year.
So you
since
your
your last-
pliers?
since your
No.
last-
The punishment on the state case has to be over a year.
I got you.
Whatever the punishment is has to be over a year. It has to
Right.
be basically a felony. But a felony is not the same in every state.
So by me getting sentenced to over a year in my state case, that made it.
They're up
On a
there.
prior case that you'd already gotten out of prison
Gotcha.
for.
Oh,
it has to
okay.
be over.
Got you.
It's not something concurrent that's pending.
Okay.
You have to have been convicted of a crime where the punishment was over a year, and you did over a year.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, the reason why I'm telling you that lesson is because in Missouri, a certain amount of marijuana might be a misdemeanor. That's a felony here. So that means if it's a misdemeanor there, the punishment's under a year. But it could be, say, 10 grams of cocaine might be a misdemeanor in another state, where you can never do over a year. But here, the punishment is over a year if you go to prison. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's what the category of punishment is.
It's
So
the threshold for the feds to be able to prosecute it.
Right, so that they don't have to know what the law is in each state. So it has to be that whatever you got convicted for, the prior felony, it has to be over a year. It doesn't say felony. It has to be a crime for a term exceeding 1 year.
You know what?
Does that make sense? You're looking kind of frowning.
No,
at the
I get
eyebrow.
I get it.
But okay, go ahead.
I think that they really was pissed off based on his actions, and they upped the ante to where let's make him pay more than a heavier price.
That's possible.
Like,
Let me tell you something else, though. There was a time that the ATF had a special contract with the feds to go. Were they ATF officers? Do you remember?
I don't know what they were.
I can't remember.
I guess they were some kind of federal agents.
Well, ATF,
But I didn't know who they was at first.
You know, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms is. So there have been certain times that the federal government is cracking down on guns, and so they might say, we're going to create 30 United States prosecutor positions just to go after firearm cases. Yeah. And when that happens, they transfer a lot of the state cases over to the feds. They call them, the prosecutors call them.
So let me ask you this, McKee.
Other officers call them.
This is a question. This is something that I had talked about too. Do you think at certain times that the feds target certain types of crimes?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Because that fill the quota. Like why we got. This is my speculation to justify us doing this job. We're waiting for certain cases that fit the profile to justify why we here doing the job, right?
Certain presidents want to go after guns,
different things,
guns
right.
and alcohol. Some of them is fraud, Medicare fraud. So it just depends. It's all coming down from Washington D.C. as to what they're targeting. So there have been times that it's a whole bunch of felon in possessions in state court, in regular court. They don't go over to the feds.
They don't go to the feds,
but
right.
the feds. Yeah, because when I was at the DA's office, they were asking them, and they
So I
were.
think I caught with guns before. You actually got a
I
gun
know.
case
You
for
got a
me
gun.
dismissed before,
I got a gun case
and none of them
dismissed.
never went federal.
And one of them got
until
dismissed. I was
just that
reading.
one.
Of them I got dismissed for you. I was reading the prosecutor put on there. You had a receipt for it or something. Was it one you had bought or something? It was a marijuana case and a gun case. I read about it, and I think you had the prosecutor put on there he had a receipt. But anyway, don't worry about it.
No. I think that was my friend gun.
Right.
He had bought the gun and he had the paperwork
He had the
for
receipt.
it,
Okay.
and it was in the car. Yeah.
Right. That's why I got it. That
Right. He left it in the car.
He left it in the car,
Right.
and she believed him. But let me go to this. Okay, so I'm going back to this federal indictment. So any crime that you've been convicted of where the punishment exceeded over 1 year, that's one. And the interstate commerce part. So it says exceeds over 1 year, knowingly possess in and affecting commerce a firearm, one Smith & Wesson, affecting commerce. Are guns made in Texas? Guns aren't made in Texas.
Right.
So any gun that's in Texas had to cross state lines.
Okay.
Wow, what a
Okay.
technicality.
So wait a minute now.
Guns are not
Shouldn't that
manufactured.
mean that the stores that's selling them?
Be held accountable?
No, because no.
Why not?
No.
Why am I
I'm
held
just
accountable
telling you-
for having it and he not held accountable
For selling it.
You have to ask Congress.
See what I'm saying?
But listen to me. I'm just telling you what the law
That's what I
is.
don't
The
understand.
law is if you've been to prison for over a year, and because once you've been to prison over a year and you're a felon, you're not supposed to possess a weapon anymore. Period. So that's the crime. Listen to me.
that's the crime. I understand that part. Though.
But I'm just letting you know
Understand that
why
part.
that other prong is why they put the name of the gun in here. I'm just telling you because it has to affect interstate commerce and guns. All guns affect interstate commerce, but by the fact that there's a gun doesn't make it illegal. What made it illegal is you have something that affected interstate commerce and you've been to prison for over a year.
Can I throw one of my friends up under
I just
the
want to
bus?
make sure that y'all understand that.
I understand.
Right. Can I give a real life
understand.
example?
Wait, and I want to go one more. And the punishment is not to exceed 10 years. That's a big punishment.
I understand,
So when
but
my
it still
client, let me just
ain't
say
logical.
this. So when my clients used to get felon in possessions in state court, I said, let's go ahead and get this time. If you did
Get it
it,
right quick,
let's
yeah.
get this time, because you never know when the feds are coming. They don't make no announcement like, okay, this year we're after gun cases. But what the years that they're doing it, we find out from the prosecutors that say, because ATF, they start contacting the DA, say, okay, if y'all get a good case, there's a good clean case, let us know about it. They don't want anything convoluted like that case you had before with somebody else's gun. They don't want that. They want it
So
to be
you
clean.
saying that the DA is the one that recommend the cases to the feds, or the feds just come in and just say, I want this, I want this one?
Both. The feds, when it's a time that when they have like an ATF contract, like they sent extra agents down here to get those cases, then they call the DA's office.
Okay, yeah.
Or they might be the ones that do it. But there are times when DAs want somebody to have a harsher punishment, and they'll call
Right,
and see
'cause
if
they
they'll
mad
take
at
it.
it, yeah.
They'll call and see
Yeah,
if they'll
I
take
guess.
it. But listen to me. But the feds usually won't take it. They have their orders from DC, so they'll say, no, we're not doing that right now. So I'm just letting you know because they're calling the federal prosecutors. The prosecutors, they might be targeting sex crimes right now. So all of the DAs, because the prosecutors in federal are working with the agents. They work more closely with them. So they might say, no, we're busy with what we're doing. We can't take any new ones.
I just quickly, there are two things I want to, because I have a good friend, and I met him in prison. He's out right now. I'm not going to say his name, and I won't give enough information for anybody to know it. But he and I had this discussion about possessing weapons post all this time we served. And I wasn't hard on him, but I was like, I can't understand how we served all this time, and you feel the need to have a gun for protection.
Right.
I said, and if you get caught with it, as much as we want to stay out of prison, you have the competence to have something that will automatically put you in prison because you're a felon. But you said this is to protect you. So protect you from what? And so my second part of that question, because I'm gonna play this back to him, so I threw you up under the bus, because I tried to convince him that it didn't make nonsensical to have a weapon and have priors. But what do you see that if I'm a felon and I get pulled over and I got a gun, how much time am I facing? I ain't committed a crime with it. I just got a gun on me. And
Depends on how much time you've done in the past. I mean, are you a habitual?
well over a year. Oh,
No. Listen to me. Are you a habitual? Do you have 5 priors? Do you have 3 priors? For you, since you got 3 priors, 3 that I know of.
right.
Three prison trips that I know of. You gonna be faced because you at 25 to life.
I started 25.
Yeah, because you got 2.
Just for a dry gun, just dry gun, cause I'm scared.
Hey, listen, I don't want to interrupt y'all, But I know this will sound crazy. I just went through a situation like that. What you saying? But it was in Galveston County. Okay. I was doing, I don't know what I was doing, DoorDashing or something one day, right? And I always had a gun on me in the car. It was in the car. Okay.
This boy is telling on himself because you know you're not supposed to have no gun.
The case over with. But I'm getting to the point. But I ain't know it was in there, first of all. But anyway, so I was riding. So I got caught with the gun. So I went down there. They was trying to give me like 4 years, with my background, with all of this stuff. But, I was able to prove that I didn't know that it was in the car. So they wound up just bumping it down to like a unlawful, carrying a weapon.
But they still gave you a conviction
Which
of
is a misdemeanor.
A misdemeanor, yeah.
Right.
Because I really didn't know that it was in the car, and I got certain paperwork done up and everything, and
Right.
I'm not going to ask you the circumstance and then want to search a car and you DoorDash.
Yeah.
Don't even.
Go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, nah, we ain't go there for.
Don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it. But if you've been to prison 2 times, then and they were 3rd degree on up. See, the state jails don't count. Mm-hmm. So it has to be a 3rd degree on up.
Right.
So, but that felon in possession counts.
Right.
So you got that one.
Yeah.
So he's not at 25. He's not at 25 to life, but you have had 2.
I mean, that's a different county, though. I noticed that Galveston County and
They're a
Harris
little bit more
County
lenient.
way different.
Yeah, they're way
my
different.
grandson,
Way different.
But the law is the same. But the law is the same in
but
Texas.
it's like
but the way they use it is different.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm just saying. So it depends on your priors. If you've been to prison and out, that's 2 times, and then you pick up another one. You start at 25. Now you might negotiate and get the prosecutors to abandon the enhancements. I looked at some you had where an enhancement had been abandoned. So it can be abandoned, and that takes you in a lower category. So a regular felon in possession is a 3rd degree felony, which is 2 to 10. But if you've been once before to prison and got out, then it's it bumps it up 1 degree. So then it's the 2nd degree, which 2nd degree is 2 to 20 years. But then if you've been in and out twice, then it bumps it up to a habitual status, which is 25 to life.
well, my grandson, Jarrell Mitchell, still mad at me because I wouldn't buy him a super soaker. I said, you ain't putting nothing that look like no gun in the car with me.
I know that's right.
But
Get that from your mother.
The thing what you were saying about having that gun, do you really need it? Like I had a thought like that too. I was like, well, that's what made me stop carrying guns, because I'm like, do I really need a gun? Like any time that I ever have a gun, I had a gun on me. I never used it to save my life. The only time that I used it was because I got mad and I wanted to use it.
Right.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's the real.
Right,
So
and that's
I
why.
never
And that's
use
why I
it.
don't carry a gun. Everybody says in the business you're in, dealing with criminals, people don't like you because when you were a prosecutor, people target you all the time. They talk about you bad in the newspaper and on people's blogs that are lying on me.
Oh.
So you should probably carry a gun because obviously someone's after you. But this is my thing.
Gun ain't gonna save your life.
Because I've worked in criminal law so long. Usually when people are really after you with a gun, it's 2 of them. And you can't take both of them. Usually if somebody's jacking you, for example, one kid's gonna be here and the other one's in the street. It's gonna be more than one.
I done been robbed with and had a gun before.
But you can't
So
get
it really
to it
don't
fast
matter.
enough because you're not ready.
Unless you walk around with it like this,
Exactly.
when you need it, you're not going to have it in your hand.
Let me tell you
Right.
the ones that usually, I've been in this business 32 years. If you try to get a cop that's not on duty, they the only ones that I've seen that can draw it fast enough. And then sometimes they get shot, but they will shoot you.
They got PTSD though, so
They got PTSD and they go to the gun range often. They have to qualify often. They practice,
And they
getting
legally
ready.
can walk around with a gun on them.
But usually I'm talking about they in their Corvette or at the car wash. I'm
But
just
they
talking
still
about.
got their guns.
No, I'm talking about they can have them on them, but what I'm talking about is like somebody tries to jack them because they got a pretty car and the gun is actually still in their little pouch right there. I'm talking. But they get to them fast because they're looking for danger a little bit more.
Right. They got more knowledge of what's going on. They got firsthand.
Right.
And then police go through a lot. They don't put a lot of stuff on the news that they go through.
They go
man.
through a lot.
Police
But they
shot
get shot
all
too.
the
Yeah,
time,
but I'm just saying, even in those robberies, sometimes they get shot. They get shot. So what I'm saying is that it's just going to be hard for you to get the jump on somebody that's trying to get the jump on you because they watching
Exactly.
you.
Right.
So they watching you. So that's why I don't carry a gun. Now you come to my house, You gonna get it.
Now,
I got all kind of guns in my house.
They'll let a felon have a gun in the house.
will. I'm just
After
finna say
how
that.
long? I've taught you
After
over and
5
over.
years, right?
Well, okay.
After 5 years of your
Yeah, I was
last
ready for
conviction.
you to say it.
Yeah.
Has
You
it
had
been
a gun at
5
the
years
house?
yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
You
signing
got your
right
5
now.
years?
Yeah, I'm signing.
You got 5 years, boo?
Yeah.
I
That was
didn't realize
another
you
way
got
I was
5
able to
years.
beat the one in Galveston County because the
It's been
gun
more
was
than
at the
5
house,
years.
but it was in a car that we never drove.
I see.
But I had to use that car in emergency because I wasn't doing the door that somebody else was.
I see.
But
I got you,
emergency
I got you.
came, you know,
Right.
bam. But I was able to have the gun at home. So
So
that's
you've
why
been
I
on
was able-
parole more than 5 years?
Yes.
Come on with your bad self. So you can have your gun at home.
No.
At
At
home.
home.
You can't.
I'm not gonna
I know
put a-
you don't, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying you could.
I could.
I mean, you can have one
But
at home.
listen. I'm not gonna put his business in the street, but he lives in a beautiful gated community where he wouldn't need it.
Yeah.
Life,
he don't need-
life,
okay,
has,
yeah.
gotten,
That's
life
not
has
real.
gotten good for him and his
I
wife.
see he still got
For him and his wife. No, he's a hardworking man. I'm proud of
must
him.
just bought that chain. He got the tag still on the chain.
I told the jury I
You know, he
leave it on
balling,
there.
man. He just
But
bought
listen.
that.
He's worked hard. Let me tell you, he's worked
My
hard.
boy
I'm
went
proud
about
of
that
him.
before the show. He say, "Let me get that."
He rehabilitated himself. He's done a good job. All right, let's go back to this federal case. All right, so what y'all know? You've done over a year in jail, a crime over a felony, which is a felony, over a year in jail, and you have a Smith & Wesson. I found it interesting that no guns are not manufactured in Texas as cowboy and rodeo and yippee-yo-hi-hey that Houston is. They are not manufactured here.
So you think that if they had a gun manufacturing place down
That
here,
element, because that's
They
the part.
wouldn't be able to-
That's the part that's affecting commerce.
wow.
That's what I'm trying to do. Affecting commerce.
So is that why? I know what gun made us in Illinois, Springfield, Illinois. One of them is it Smith & Wesson.
It might be, but I'm
Okay,
just
so
saying
the dudes in
these two parts of your case, exceeding and affecting. So this is what a lawyer is looking for. So if I went to federal court with you, which I didn't, I would be making sure that the gun. I would look up where this gun is manufactured and make sure that you had a case that exceeded over a year in jail. So that's the two things. That's what lawyers are doing. They're looking at the elements of the crime to see. So you didn't know that. So that's what a lawyer is looking for, to see if that part, and then at that point, and then after that, you're looking at probable cause to see if they violated your rights by getting a statement from you or whatever. So, and in your case, they did, but I was not your lawyer. And so that's that. And so then when it got to
she
the
threw that in. I did hire you though, Miss King.
not for that. But anyway, what I did get for you, I think, was it did run concurrent, and that's difficult to do in federal court.
You got that done.
Yeah, I did get that done.
Yeah.
I remember that because it was hard to do. They don't really like doing that. So
you knew
they
that,
sentenced
you knew
him.
my public defender, the guy Brent Newton.
Was he in the
He's in the
federal?
Yeah, he's a federal.
And I think I might have known the prosecutor, the federal
You
prosecutor.
knew somebody because you
No,
got
I
it
think
done.
it was the federal prosecutor I knew. A lot of them leave Harris County DA's office and they go over to the feds. I think I knew the federal prosecutor. So, but anyway, so what we got done, but the judge still has to approve it. And this judge is real cool, Gray Miller. His daddy used to do Miller's Texas. That show that used to come on Sundays when we were little. I forgot, Gray Miller's Texas. Anyway, that was his father. Gray Miller is real fair. But anyway, so what we did was, his paperwork says 17 months because they had given you said it was 30, but they had given him credit for the 13 months he had been in Harris Harris County jail.
So that's how they kind of
Usually they don't do that. Usually they make it go.
Me 17.
He has to do his year and then he has to go and do it afterwards.
Right.
That happens a lot in federal, so it's real hard to get him to do it. And so we were lucky enough to get. That's the part I did for you because I don't think my name's on this paperwork. But I think I went and got that done for you from the state part of the case.
Yeah, you did because that's the reason why I stayed in Harris County so long because you was waiting for them to
approve this.
You wanted.
It took me a long time to get them to approve it.
Something that was going on with that, so I had to wait.
No, it's not easy to do. Yeah, Brent. I see Brent Newton is your. I didn't know him. I knew
He worked hard for me too, though.
Yeah, they do.
That public defender,
The public defender's office of the feds and Harris County are good. When you have a public defender's office, that's different from a court-appointed lawyer. The public defender's office, they're just like the DA's office. They got investigators, they have secretaries, they're getting insurance and benefits.
Wait, break that down again. Court appointed and public, it's two different? How do you get assigned a public attorney versus?
In the federal system, everybody can get a public defender.
But in the state?
Unless they're co-defendants. So if the public defender is representing you and it's 5 other co-defendants, then they have to get regular court-appointed lawyers that are on a list that the feds will pass. If the state, They don't have enough funding yet. So they're building the public defender's office. The public defender's office in Harris County started in 2011. You've been getting in trouble a long time.
Oh yeah, I missed out on
But
that.
you can still get a regular court appointed, but that's a person that's, like me, when I was doing capital murders and I hired you, I got to hire all my own staff. I got to be able to afford to hire people to work for me. You know what I mean? And in the regular state system, they don't pay you till the case is over. So those young men that you were going to see, like 2 of them used to go see back 9 years ago, they still in jail.
Good Lord.
That little boy that ran off to Colorado, the last time I checked in December, he was still in jail. And then the tall, thin one, I forgot his name right now. I forgot both of them's name right now. It's not on the tip of my tongue. But I used to look them up periodically. 2 of them, I forgot, I used to see about 10 of them for me, but 2, he used to work for me as
still fighting capital
paralegal.
murder cases?
2 of those boys, as of December, were still in jail. And I've been at the DA's office 8 years. So I represented them 2 years before I went to the DA's office.
Are they still here in Harris County?
I don't know.
So
They
what's
moving
on
them
there? They
around.
had missed trials or like?
They haven't had a trial yet. They were still pending as of December. 2 of the many cases that I had, 2 of them are still pending. That one little light-skinned boy that liked you so much, his is one of them that's still pending.
Is that the one that they came by the house and had him hold a shotgun with no bullets in it?
I don't know. It was a young man. Didn't they find him in Colorado?
He was in school,
and he
though.
was in a tree or something. They found him in
wow.
Colorado. You don't remember which one it was, but he really liked you. He used to always, you were kind of like a father figure to you. He always wanted. He used to say, "Miss King, is Danny coming to see me?" Was he Puerto Rican?
Well, I do. Oh, I can't remember him. Light-skinned guy.
Kind of little light-skinned
But
guy.
I remember
His
the
mama
young
was Puerto Rican.
kid. They came by the house. He was in there playing PlayStation or
Oh,
something.
not that guy. I
Come
forgot what
ride
happened
with
to
us.
that guy.
And they went to that
Yes.
trailer park
Tall, thin guy. Yeah, no,
and killed the guy.
Killed that guy. Yeah, that was a bad
And they gave
one.
him a shotgun with no bullets in it.
Shotgun with no bullets. I don't know what happened to him. No, that case is not pending. I don't know what happened. I think his name was Timothy. That case is not pending.
He was in high school.
He was in high school. Yeah, they set him up. And the other guy was tall and thin, and he was in the back sleep when they did the murder. And I found out he was kind of slow. And he got beat up. He fell out the bunk bed. They kept hiding him because the Harris County was not in compliance with jail standards. So I could never find him. Sometimes he would be over at 701 where he wasn't supposed to be because he had mental problems.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Man,
a mess.
that's a whole nother situation there. You want to talk Harris County.
That's a whole nother situation.
Like I said, I was in there at 13. I seen a lot. And then that was at the time where they had like the most deaths in the jail
They got
that
the
year,
most now.
like 07.
Oh, well, 07 was
people
bad, but
dying.
it's real bad now because remember, once Kim Ogg came in office and a lot of the Democrats, they give everybody a PR bond. That's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
So ain't nobody in misdemeanor in jail. People say it, but it's bullcorn. You go to the jail is dangerous because it's all violent criminals that are in there.
Right.
And if everybody's violent, they killing each other
So
left
I
and
call
right.
county jails treatment centers with no clinicians. So instead of having people dealing with their substance abuse and mental health problems, the county jail deals with your behavior. Then when you go there, now that you can't medicate your problem anymore, everybody in there cold turkey, they're not getting diagnosed for their mental health, and they're not being treated for their substance abuse. So you put everybody together, which should be a treatment center, and under conditions, but you just got jailers that got their own issues working at a treatment center, and that's where all the violence and stuff come out of.
Then a lot of things, them jailers, they do a lot of provoking because
I said they got problems.
they got jailers that's 18 and 19 years old.
They're kids.
And they in here and they get power struck and it feel good for them to do certain things.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And then they get caught up in the cliques.
It'll escalate like real quick just like that.
Yeah, because they pick winners and losers. They
Well,
have inmates that they like.
Right. Before we get there, because I think we have 15 minutes, I want to talk about your stint, how it was in state jail, and then when you get transferred to federal. What was the difference?
Oh man. First I went to FDC downtown.
Okay.
Man, it
On
was
Congress?
No, it's on
Crawford.
Texas.
On Texas, yeah.
Well,
It's right down the street
on
from.
four streets.
It's
on
right
four
down the
streets.
street from.
But
Like
Texas
you got
is
the
one
Harris
of them.
County Courthouse.
Yeah,
It's
it's
right down
the street.
It's right down the street.
Like a couple blocks. So I went in there, man. They got ice machines. Well, first of all, when you get in there, they give you clothes. Like they give you a set of clothes, so they're gonna give you a
So
jacket.
what about when you went to state jail? What they give you?
Oh, when you go to state jail, they're gonna give you some little dollar shoes. You know them little karate shoes they
Those
give you.
orange shoes?
It's the same TDC little hookup
White.
they give you.
White.
You white.
Same thing.
You
You get
white.
white.
Okay.
The first pair of drawers you getting, somebody else done worn before.
And they-
How
Where?
they
In
go.
TDC?
Yeah, they stained up.
Yeah.
Oh, they stained?
Yeah,
They give you
yeah,
stained
yeah,
underwear?
Yeah. You can trade them in though. Like
you
I don't
can't
want
wait
these.
to go. Man, the
I don't
first
want
thing I
these.
did at commissary is bought me some underwear. 3
They
pairs
give
of
you
underwear.
stained, dirty
And
I don't
underwear.
want these.
They
Say, bro,
wash them, but they might still have stains. in
Yeah,
them.
bro, I don't want
But
these.
when they wash them, they throw 400 of them in the washing machine
Oh
at
my
one time.
God.
So it ain't getting clean.
Now with 400. Now with 400. Oh my God.
So when you go in there, they got AC, they got heat.
Federal. Now we're talking about federal.
Right.
Federal got AC.
They got
heat.
TV rooms. They got different rooms. They got this TV room. They may have Discovery Channel on in here. This
Sports.
This room might be sports. This one might be BET or whatever. You know, they got all kind of games. You know, in the state, they only got like chess, checkers, dominoes. And now they got Monopoly. They got Connect Four. They got everything in
Club
there.
Med.
They got all kind of books. They got
Club
cable
Med.
TV. Yeah.
Well, compared to state jail where everybody's in an open commune, they're sleeping and doing everything together, how was it in the
Well, no,
in the
it's
feds?
sales in even in
feds
like
have sales?
FDC is kind of like equivalent to like what Harris County would be to TDC. So you got FDC,
Because
and
it's
you
a
got
holding
the federal
facility.
prison. Yeah,
That's a holding facility.
but even at FDC,
But you had to do time there?
You got
you didn't do
sales.
time there?
Well, no, you just while you going back and forth to court, you there.
Okay.
And so when you get your time, when I got my time, they sent me to 3 Rivers.
Where is that?
That's like it's in between San Antonio and Corpus Christi. It's a medium facility. It's a what they call a FCI, Federal Correctional Institution. So I go over there, and as soon as you get there, like I said, they give you a brand new pair of boots. Not like they give you a brand new pair of boots, a brand new jacket. They give you a brand new pants, brand new shirt. They give you about 4 or 5 pair of brand new underwear, brand new socks,
So it's in the bag.
T-shirts. Yeah, they just give you all that when you get there. So you get in there, then when you go in the dorm, like it's a dorm setup, but it's cells. You know, they got 2 tiers. They got washing machines.
Oh my God.
You can wash your own clothes?
Yeah, they sell Tide on commissary.
Wow.
So you got a washing machine, you got the microwaves.
But let me
you
ask you
know.
this. If you didn't want to wash your clothes, do you have to wash your own clothes or will they wash them for you?
Yeah,
they
they
have
got-
people working laundry.
Yeah, they got somebody that come through and pick them up just in case you can't afford to buy the laundry detergent.
Okay.
But I'm saying it's gonna be the same thing like TDC. They put all your clothes in a laundry bag
right.
and they just throw the whole bag in there.
Gotcha.
So your clothes really ain't clean. So I wouldn't do it that.
Okay.
But it was cool. It was like you had a lot more freedom. You get up, you can go walk to the rec yard. You go out there. They got football field, basketball. They got tennis courts.
Well, do you think that the prisoners act better when they're in a more humane environment like the feds versus state jail and TDC?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, remember how when you're a little kid, if you got your play clothes on, you're ready to play, but when you put your church clothes on, you're going to act better? I'm
Right,
just asking,
right.
is it like a difference in your attitude?
It's a difference for the most part, but a lot of times, a lot of dudes in the feds, they got a lot of time. And it's not no parole system. So just say, for instance, I'm in TDC, I got 30 years. I might can do, if it's not aggravated, I might can do about 6, 7, 8 years maybe, get on parole. You got 30 years in the feds, you finna do 25.
Right.
So that's the dangerous part about it because
Okay.
some of these dudes don't got nothing to lose because they not going nowhere. So it's a lot of,
Violence for that reason.
it's more quicker to get stabbed up in there.
In feds?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to change their time.
I mean,
No, they're gonna catch a case.
If you
for
got
it.
a life
'Cause the
sentence-
MS-13 was killing people, and they got a lot of them got the death penalty for it. I mean, but they got gangs in federal. I know that.
yeah. So like where I was at the Mexican Mafia, then they got some other thing called the Pisces. This is what really happened that let me know I don't want to come back to jail. So they popped the doors at like 5 in the morning.
This
right?
is the feds, right?
This in the feds. So the Mexican Mafia and the Pisces are Mexicans from Mexico. They got a gang, they gang together. So the Mexican Mafia, they don't like them. So about 9 Mexican Mafia members come to the unit with poles and knives, and when they pop the door, they just start killing people, right? So after that, they shut the yard down. I think about 8 people got killed that day. They had the life flight people out in the helicopters. They shut the yard down. All right, when the yard opened back up, they rioted again.
Same group.
Same group.
But what are they riding? Are they targeting anybody? They killing the guards? Or are they killing somebody
it's
that
gang
actually
related.
mad
No,
at?
they killing each other.
Gang related.
They killing each other.
And so then you got the California Mexicans, which is Serranos, they riding with the Pisces, and then you got the Texas Mexicans, which is the Houston, the Tango Blast, and the Valley Boys and all of that, and the Vayucos, what they call them. They riding with this side. So now they clashing.
But why are they fighting?
Power. It's a power struggle.
They don't like each other.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
But it's still a power struggle because who runs the farm? Who's in charge? And they trafficking it. And there's always something under.
And they making money in there too. Don't
So
they,
y'all not gonna sell the dope. We gonna sell the dope.
Okay.
And, and you know we gonna traffic. Y'all not gonna traffic.
So did you see any of the trafficking when you were there?
Yeah, man, these be dudes on heroin. I mean,
Where are they getting the heroin from?
I had no idea. I ain't had that much time, Miss King. I was just trying to get up out of there. I wasn't trying to get involved in none of that.
That's a lot. That's almost a year and a half.
I mean, but not compared to these dudes. These dudes, they got 30
But
years.
they be
been
heavy
here
from
for
the
10.
streets.
I got
It's
it.
So
a
if
lot
you're a
of dudes.
kingpin from the street, cause you get locked up, you still gonna have access to live the luxury life because they pay off the guards. You know.
Okay, look, here go an
But
example.
I'm trying to get him to tell me that he actually see that.
Yeah.
I
Here
got
go
you.
example. Okay, just say like weed. Say like, you know, people selling weed in there. Okay, they take a chapstick cap. Okay, a tube of chapstick. You could take the top off of that, right? You could fill that up with weed. That ain't nothing but. Okay, look. So you fill this up right here with weed, and so money is transferred within books of stamps. So a book of stamps was probably about $9 or something at that time. It's gonna take you 7 or 8 books of stamps to get this much weed. So that's about
And where is
$70
it
or
coming in
$80.
from? Where's it coming in from? The outside? From where? From
They ain't growing it.
I mean, people bringing it in.
the guards are bringing it in?
Somebody bringing it in.
You feel like he's
I'm just asking.
Look, he's so strict to the code. He's still not gonna.
It's in there. and I mean,
You haven't been to the Fed, so I'm asking him the federal question.
so for instance, I'm saying like,
I'm asking him the federal question.
He's sticking to the
You've been to
code.
the state. I'm asking. You've been to the TDC 3 times. I'm asking the
sticking to the
federal
code.
man.
but they don't even sell weed at them, but now they smoking their fake stuff. But
But I hear,
K2.
in Harris
Right,
County,
right. K2.
they were putting the stuff inside paper.
they doing the paper, yeah.
They're doing the paper.
Yeah. That tripped me out too, that
We have
paper
5
thing.
minutes, so we need to try to get to some conclusion. I
So
don't know what it is.
say for instance, 7 grams of marijuana, regular terrible marijuana. These dudes making they paying bills at home off of that. Off that little chapstick, you're gonna pay $80, you know, for that. So $10 worth of weed, he make $1,000 off of that.
Okay, but I'm not gonna ask you anymore how you getting it. 'Cause he got to stay strict to the code. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
asking.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
asking
yeah,
you to
yeah.
bring
I
it to
really
the
don't-
code.
I mean,
you're not going back.
Okay,
Billy.
listen. It's different ways you can get it in. You can have a female or something bring it in.
Okay.
You can have a guard bringing it in.
Well,
I even
man,
seen instances where they got drones. You seen that? Where they got
That's it.
drones
Drop it.
landing on the prison yard, dropping it off. So it's different ways. So
But the guards ought to
one of
see
those
that.
3 ways. But see, the guards in the federal, they got a nice little salary. They make like a little money. They may make $70,000 or $80,000 a year. So it's not really worth it for them to risk their job and their
Life.
benefits and all that, trying to make $1,000. You know.
Right. But what about a drone? They can get a gun and shoot the drone out the sky. They're not doing it. All right, well, that's your experience. All right, so tell us right quick, since we only have a few minutes, how you straighten your life up after 20 years of doing wrong. How you, that federal experience, when you went to the feds?
I got tired of going to jail, Miss King. I got tired of people telling me what to do. I don't like that. And so I got out of jail one time. My brother gave me an 18-wheeler. So they got me in the trucking business. Me and my friend wound up buying 2 trucks. We started our trucking business. And it's just like, I'm not in the trucking no more. But ever since then, I just learned that, yo, man, I can make money legally.
Exactly.
And I can make way more money legally than I can illegally. So for instance, like if I spend $100 illegally, if I'm lucky, I make 100% profit off of that.
Slow money is show
All right.
money.
If I spend $100 legally, I can make about 300 or 400% of my money off of that.
Especially in the trucking business. We're about to wrap it up. I'm getting a signal that we're going to wrap it up in our new studio. So Danny, do you want to tell us what you do and invite people to Path to Freedom?
Oh, so me and Vivian go to St. John's downtown under the leadership of Pastor Tiffany Tarrant, and under the founders, Pastor Rudy and Juanita Ramos. St. John's is located at 2019 Crawford Street here in Houston, Texas. And I oversee a project called Path to Freedom. It's a faith-based support group for men and women returning from jails and prison. And we offer them alternatives and ideas and suggestions that prevent recidivism.
What days?
We're on Thursdays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. That's St. John's downtown, Houston, Texas, 2019 Crawford Street.
And do you want to give some, we have 1 minute, do you want to say something to the audience about staying out of trouble?
Yes. Look, the illegal money, look, it's really not smart to do it. Because like I say, the profit, you got to look at your profit margin. So you got to be smart at what I'm doing. If I could do something legal and make way more money, why would I risk my freedom and my life to try to do something illegal? And plus, the things that I get legal, I can keep them for way long time. It's about longevity. You know what I mean? The things that you get out here real fast, they're going to go real fast. So that's what I got to say, man. Like, you got to make the correct decisions in life depending on the outcome that you see for yourself. If you see yourself successful, you got to do things that's going to lead you on the right path. Like you say, the path of that, you know what I mean?
It's
freedom.
It's
Chestnut Checkers, you know what I mean?
Tell them about your YouTube site.
Oh, I got a YouTube channel, Chestnut Checkers. It's all one word, but with 2 Ks in the checkers. And I be breaking down all type of ways that you can avoid trouble and stay out of things that's happening by looking at things that we can all relate to and major problems that's happening in the world today. I can break those down. I break those down and show you how to avoid those situations.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming, Billy. And thank you, Danny, for being here tonight. Thank you for watching Truth and Justice with Vivian King. I hope we've educated you about federal and state jail in Texas. And please tune in to my YouTube channel, Truth and Justice with Vivian King. Thank you and good night.